Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Hump Day. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard. I'm coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. I am a member of the Heaven on Earth construction crew. Heaven on Earth construction crew, shouting out to my dear friend, wise teacher, beautiful being, amazing spiritual alchemist like me, spiritual alchemist, Jennifer Huff and the Wide Awakening. I am a member of the Heaven on Earth construction crew, y'all. That's a big deal. Note to you, it's real easy to get a job in the Heaven on Earth construction crew. You just have to go. You just have to do it. You just have to tell yourself, I am raising my consciousness. I'm getting beyond the plane of existence. We're going to talk about that today. That I walk in most of the time. I'm on one of my planes of existence, or one of our planes of existence is the mobile world. I don't spend that much time here. So that's why you will sometimes see me going, I don't know how to do it because I don't really want to know how to do all these things. I don't feel like this is the place where I want to spend the bulk of my time. And so
these things.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. So now I can see me live, and now I can see comments. I'm going to write a comment. Bear with me while I do some of this funny stuff. Hey, y'all. There it is. I just got back from North Carolina, also known as North Kakalaki. And y'all is a truth statement. Y'all means all of y'all. Hey, y'all. I just got back from North Kakalaki. So type in if you're watching live. Thank you for being here. If you're joining me live or if you're watching the replay, #replay, type in where you're joining from and how do you say y'all or use guys or you people. How do you talk about the collective where you are? Where are you and how do you talk about it? So I'm so happy to be here. I'm even happier that you are choosing to join me either live or via the replay. We have something really, really cool and fun to talk about today. It occurred to me yesterday while I was in a plane. And so, as I say multiple times, the topics of the Hump Day Happy Chat are driven by experience, either my experience or your experience. So I'm telling you lived experience, not just theory, not just even theory that's been studied and proven, but lived by actual people doing the dance, living happy to be me, dancing your soul light style. That's the title of my book. Dancing was chosen on purpose because I don't like work. I actually don't even believe work is what we're here for. But our entire society, especially in the West, is built on the ideas of struggle, striving, working, proving, demonstrate your fitness to even be listened to be thought of as worthy. I'm over that crap. Okay, so hi, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the Hump Day Happy Chat from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. What do we do here at the center? Well, we teach the principles of living happy to be me, which are rooted in this concept of self-mastery, that true and lasting happiness only is available, and I do say that emphatically, only is available through your shift in your consciousness and living at a high vibration level. So self-mastery is giving yourself the opportunity to do that, to be that in your life, to walk in the energy of self-mastery. Mastering yourself in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Whatever your life brings your way. Knowing your life is working for you, not to you. It's happening for you. It's a benefit of your time in the earthly realm to use your life as a tool for your soul's evolution. Wow. Get it? To leverage this life, this thing you call life, as an opportunity to evolve your consciousness to a higher level. Hashtag consciousness rising. Like, how do you raise your consciousness? And when you do, the things that you want become much more available. Let's talk about that. First, I want to say a couple of important little details. My nose is running. I'm going to get a Kleenex. Thank goodness I keep them nearby so that I can do this. Oh, my nose runs when I eat, for sure. But apparently, when I do the Hump Day Happy Chat, my nose likes to show up with a run here and there, too. So, a couple things. If you are looking for a way to raise your vibration, have some routine and frequent reminders about the how of doing that, the what things you could explore within yourself to make yourself more available. I have a private group here on Facebook called the Bliss Collective. So you go to facebook.com/groups/the Bliss Collective. You go there. There are all kinds of tools and tips and suggestions. And we sometimes have Q&As on Friday. Every day is a happy Friday. Ask Valerie. And people type in questions. I type in answers. And then it helps people move, shift. The whole idea of the Bliss Collective is to do this in community. We are a community on a mission to create a movement, like a movement for more peace, love, joy, and freedom erupting on the planet. And the only way it does that is if the people on the planet are in that energy. More peace on the planet comes from more peaceful people. More love on the planet comes from more loving beings. More compassion on the planet comes from a greater number of people interacting at the level, high vibration, raise your consciousness level of compassionate understanding of another's belief systems, circumstances. How do we get to more loving disagreement? We have to be it. Disagreements are going to happen. What if the disagreements in your life are your soul's way of giving you an opportunity to do disagreement in a higher vibration? Anybody can do disagreement in a yelling, shouting, name calling, blaming, shaming, F you. Anybody can do that. That's simple. The question is, can you do it at the high vibration? Can you allow people to be where they believe they are, who they choose to be, not who they are, who they choose to be through personality and identity? Can you allow them to do that with compassion in your heart? More compassion on the planet comes from you and me being more compassionate. Woohoo! Love it. And so that's what we do in the Bliss Collective. We remind ourselves, oh yeah, I really want to say something nasty, but that's not a reflection of the truth of who I am. So I'm going to go to a higher vibration and say, I disagree with you 110%. And I love you. And I accept that you are where you are and you see it the way you see it. Tell me more. Tell me more. So that's the Bliss Collective. Come on over and play. Facebook.com/groups, the Bliss Collective. If you have questions or you just want to chat, sensitive things, you can send me a PM. You can type it in to the stream of the video, and I'll check those and get back to you as quickly as I can. And when you apply the teachings in your life, when you go, I did that, and this is what happened, good, bad, whether it served you or it didn't, I'd love to know. And I really truly believe that when we share our lived experiences, not just theoretical, not just propaganda, our lived experiences coming from the heart, that wow, we grow and we give others an opportunity to do the same. And lastly, every month now I'm doing these Grow in Self-Mastery, Flow into Bliss challenges. They're an opportunity for you to spend 7 days doing some very specifically chosen activities that allow you to evaluate where you are in this self-mastery idea. Self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. Where are you in that? How is it helping you get to a higher vibration? And at the higher vibration, more bliss is available to you. That's the only way you get there. You can't think it. You can't make it happen. It's not the next amount of money you make or the next concert you go to or the next great love you have or quitting smoking. That's not where bliss comes from. Bliss comes from inside the instrument that you are, and you create it consciously. Consciously, you create your alignment with bliss. So I encourage and invite you every month, get on board. You can go to tinyurl.com/self-mastery challenge, all one word, no hyphen. tinyurl.com/self-mastery challenge. Yay! So today's topic for the Hump Day Happy Chat. Are you aware of the planes? The plane! The plane! Are you aware of the plane? Fantasy Island reference there. Ha ha ha. This is about navigating the different planes of your life experience. It's about lifting your head, lifting your eyes above the level of the storms, even though your feet are still planted where the rain's coming down, where the thunder is clashing, where the lightning is spiking right into the earth. I saw a beautiful, I didn't have my camera. I wish I did, because it was a beautiful picture. I was sitting at seatmate. I was arriving to Asheville, North Carolina, really late. I was getting there after 10 p.m. Eastern. And there was a storm. And so our pilot was navigating the plane around the storm. And as we looked out, this amazing flash of lightning, I call them finger strikes, whereas a single line, and it was amazing. And I turned to my seat partner, did you see that? And we were both commenting on, wow, like the amazingness of that. We were above it. We were away from it. So what's the both and? My feet are firmly planted where the rain and the storm is pounding. And yet, I can see from a higher vantage point. Are you aware of the planes? The planes. I'm talking about the planes of existence, not the airplane. The planes of existence. So are you aware that there are vibrational levels to the universe, and that in those different vibrational levels are opportunities for you to have different experiences? In esoteric cosmology, a plane is a subtle state, a level, an area, region, corresponding to something, some aspect of life, of living. And believe it or not, the idea of subtle planes of existence is found in many religious and esoteric teachings. It's found in the Vedanta, in shamanism, in Hermeticism, the principles of Hermes Trismegistus, as above, so below. So of course they would be found there. In Gnosticism, in yoga, Sufism, Kabbalah, Rosicrucianism. Rosicrucianism is an esoteric form of Christianity. So this idea of the subtle planes of existence is all over the place in religion, religious and spiritual teachings. a whole series of subtle planes or worlds or dimensions that emanate from a center, wonder what that's called, and interpenetrate themselves like a web. They interpenetrate. They go into each other, i.e., not separate. Everywhere present within each other, emanating through a series from light to dense, becoming far more material and embodied. So you would say that we are in the densest of the planes in the planet Earth. However, we can make the distinction that we are not just of this earth, that because of the interdimensionality, the interpenetration of the planes, that we are walking as the planes while the planes are existing all around us. In, through, around, and as us, these planes are given life in the one plane, the dimension of the third, known as Earth. Wow. I love allowing myself to be in that. I think it was Rumi who said, "You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are an ocean. You are the ocean in a drop." I believe that expresses this interpenetrative nature of the multiple planes of existence. So Rosicrucianists teach that there's a divine plane and that Jesus, as Christ consciousness, was in that divine plane. The miracles that he worked, the teachings that he brought into the earth, was a being embodying Christ consciousness. Christ is not his last name. It's a state of consciousness that he achieved and that he called us into achieving. This and even more you will do also, he taught. How do you do that? You raise your consciousness. You get into a different vibration while you walk with your feet on the ground. Rosicrucianism dates back to the 17th century, when texts were published to actually announce that this esoteric order of the world was worth understanding, worth knowing about. Many people got attracted to it. Interestingly, a lot of people did not. And many people who were interested in this esoteric aspect of the world were branded witches, heretics, heathens, pagans, a number of things. And yet, you cannot make the truth go away. You can turn away from the truth, but the truth doesn't care. It's going to do what it does. The spiritual laws of existence that are a part of you, that are governing everything on the universe, doesn't really care if you get it. Before Galileo Galilei made his discoveries, those discoveries were still working. They didn't care. They didn't care if it was Galileo or someone else who actually brought the knowledge, the wisdom into the planet for the earthly realm to understand and benefit from. Couldn't care less. You'll get around to it or you won't. Not a problem. We're all on our individual journeys. We get where we get when we decide to go there. That's a shepherdism. We get where we get when we decide to go. Conscious choice, I'm going. Buddhism teaches 31 planes of existence. Esoterism teaches 12. I mean, you could go deep and wide when you delve into this question of what are the planes of existence? So this was triggered by the flying I've done in the last few days. I love to travel, and I was blessed with the opportunity to spend some time in community with some transformational beings as we explored our own transformation. For me, my own physiological healing is an area that I want to delve in, or that I continue to delve into, to get more out of my body so that I can do more and be more, even as a survivor of a brain hemorrhage. What more is possible is the question underlying my quest. What more is possible? Not that where I am isn't enough, just that if more is possible, and I believe it is, I'd like to be on the vibrational level to receive it. So my question is purposeful, triggered by the flight yesterday, but a question that everything that I do dances within. How do I bring more of heaven into earth? The heavenly plane, how do I bring more of it into my experience on earth? And as I learn to do that, how do I share? How do I unlock it so that I allow others to do their higher consciousness and be all that they can be? Consciousness creating human potential. So as I was looking from my plane through 10,000 feet yesterday, I could see the clouds below me, so we're above the clouds. And even through the clouds, I could see the earthly realm, ground, the earth ground below that. And it occurred to me, like, what a gift it is to be able to see through that vantage point, to see the different realms, so to speak. Far enough apart that you can see their separateness. One was up here, I was swimming in that. The next one was down here, those were the clouds below me. And through the clouds, they weren't that dense and they were spread out. So through the clouds, the realm of the clouds, I could see the realm of the earth. I could see the buildings. I could see the roads. I could see the cars driving on the road. So in their separateness, I could still experience the interpenetrating nature of their oneness. Their oneness. Kind of like us. We're separate beings. We have separate minds, separate hearts, separate desires, separate personalities, separate ideologies, separate interpretations of the world and what's happening. And yet, we are the same. We are spiritual, human, interconnected persons, at once carrying all the wisdom of the universe, the ocean in a drop, as we are being our individuated selves, a drop in the ocean. It's beautiful to receive what life is offering every minute, 24/7, 365, to just open your awareness, open your perspective to seeing things maybe not the way you always see them. Maybe not. So these interpenetrating planes, I could see the oneness. This is all the air. I'm flying at 10,000 feet, at 35,000 feet, at 4,000 feet. It's just a different perspective on the same experience. Reminder that you, I, we exist on multiple planes simultaneously. That means what we do in one plane can influence the others. Ever heard of Reiki? The Cleveland Clinic defines Reiki as an energy healing technique that promotes relaxation, can reduce stress and anxiety through touch. So Reiki practitioners use their hands to deliver energy to your body, improving flow, creating dynamic wellness, giving you access to well-being. Are you aware of the planes? A Reiki practitioner is a very concrete example of bringing the consciousness of other planes into the body physical. So are you aware of the planes is asking that, do you recognize the multidimensionality of you and everything? And are you actively practicing your life in the multidimensionality? Are you accessing the full oceanness of your drop? You getting that? Are you activating, accessing, expressing the full multidimensionality that you are as the entire ocean in your one drop? So I teach in the realm of spirituality. I don't teach religious dogma. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I don't teach that. So in spirituality, which is defined as the quality of becoming concerned with the human spirit or the soul, as opposed to material or physical things, the dynamism that is the non-physical, which is studied in the noetic sciences, non-physical. So I'm all about creating awareness and connection with the universe, the multiverse, connecting in here with my multidimensionality and seeing how that helps me connect with it out here. Why? So I can live in higher states of being all the time, no matter what's going on. Higher states of being all the time. So that whatever is going on, the storm happening at the level of my feet, gets served by the higher realms that are coming in through my heart, giving me an access point and a way forward that allow so much juicy goodness to unfold in my life. So this means creating awareness and connection to a higher power, a higher self, to the source, to all that is. What does that do for you? Well, it helps bring the wisdom from the higher planes into your experience of the everyday density of the earth. 3D versus 5D or 7D or 11D. Wow. What about that? Well, guess what? Maybe the wisdom from your higher self, from your 5D self, is what can help you transmute the dynamic of a very difficult challenge that you're having in the third dimension. Quitting smoking, overcoming an obstacle like a bankruptcy, dealing with a difficult boss, or the loss of a partner, or the loss of physical or mental capability. What if you, as a human, aren't equipped? What did Einstein say? You cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. He said energy, the same energy that created it. Meaning, if we create our problems in the density of the earth using low consciousness thinking, we're not going to solve the problems using low consciousness thinking. We have to elevate our vibration. We have to elevate our vantage point. We have to elevate our ability to interpret the things that are happening. We have to bring into the earthly realm the dynamics of a higher vantage point. The ability to see without our eyes, to hear without our ears. Are you aware of the planes? Are you aware of the planes? So what do? Number one, what is my number one step? If you look at all these Hump Day Happy Chats, you will see a number one step that doesn't change very often. It's called breathing and turning inward. The outer world is a distraction, y'all. It's a distraction. We experience it, we exist within it, and it can turn you away from the very thing that holds the answer to the question that you're asking, that holds the path to the how that you're wondering. that holds the very person or other resources needed to help you move along your way. Breathe, turn inward. Get practiced at quieting your mental capacity. We're not about telling the brain to sit down and shut up. We need the brain. The brain is a very valuable, vital part of our existence and our experience and our expression. And it's not necessary for the things we need to do on the internal plane around connecting to higher planes of existence, to connecting to our higher selves, to connecting to source. Not necessary. To connecting to the wisdom of the ascended masters. Not necessary. Use your brain in service to your heart, and the way you do that is quiet it when you're wanting to hear from your heart. Quiet the mind. So you get practiced at that. It takes practice. You may have to take a meditation course. There are plenty. You may elect to gift yourself some specific practice at getting better at meditation, so that this first step that allows you to connect to your higher planes of existence, you become more accomplished at bringing the first step, at activating yourself as a quiet mind. Be still and mindful. Be still and mindful. Second step, write the story of your thoughts, also known as journaling. Write the story of your thoughts. It's a place for you to tell the whole truth. Like, you might not want to tell it to other people. You may even have trouble writing it because you're actually telling it to yourself. Telling the whole truth. I've known so many stories that people have told me, and stories that I've experienced myself, from my own lived experience, where some of what the pain or the anguish, some of the shame is because I know that I violated my own principles, that I didn't live up to my own standards of who I intend to be for myself and for the world and for the divine as an instrument of love and peace and joy and freedom, that I let my own self down. Those aren't things I want to shout out to the world, although I do from time to time. Most people don't want to do that and don't have to. So this idea of writing down my story is a way that you get it out of you so that the toxic energy isn't in the way, like a barnacle on the boat. The barnacle covers the bottom of the boat, but the bottom of the boat is still there in its magnificence. And until the barnacles are shoved away, you can't see the beauty of the bottom of the boat. So this toxicity that lives on in you beyond the time when it was actually created is not serving you. It's actually blocking you from experiencing the expression of your higher self. And you want that expression because you want the power of the higher self guiding you in the earthly realm. It's a lower dimension. Why not bring in the power of the higher dimension? Yeshua, Jesus, showed us that, the connection to the consciousness level known as the Christ consciousness in the divine plane with the miracles that he demonstrated. Then, as he's getting ready to leave, he tells us, this and more you will do also. Wow. Are you creating miracles in your life? Well, you can't possibly access the miracle plane without being able to hear, integrate, express the higher plane. Not possible till you can do that. So, a place to tell the whole truth about you, the whys and wherefores of what you're doing and who you're being, through writing them down to get them up and out of you. Conversation between you and you can be the next really important step of getting quiet enough to hear your higher self, supporting you, loving you, guiding you, directing you, protecting you. Another thing I will stop and say here that when pain comes up that you aren't able to manage yourself, you're not able to transmute your powers of spiritual alchemical nature, spiritual alchemy are not as strong as you would like. And so you aren't able to turn those situations into something positive. That's not a problem. I couldn't either. So the things I did, my lived experience that may support you, find help. Ask for help. There are so many people. There are workshops, retreats, learned intermediaries. Learned intermediaries that can help you. Spiritual counselors, I've used several. Psycho-spiritual advisors, I've used one. I've used psychiatrists, I've used psychology. I've done a number of things to see what worked best for me. There is no one path to enlightenment. There is no one path to self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. So I'll give you a few, try them out, see what you find, let us know how it works. But the whole idea is that you want to get rid of the toxicity that may be stored in you from generations. Epigenetics is proving that traumas can be stored at the DNA level, meaning you don't even know what the actual seminal moment was that toxicity got lodged in you. How are you going to go find it? How are you going to go do anything about it? So the whole idea is if you need help, ask for it. If you're not able to do it on your own, who cares? Do what's next. So what, now what? So I couldn't fix it on my own. I couldn't figure it out. And so I called in the big guns and use your higher power to even guide you to the right big gun, to the right big solution. Another thing to do, move your body. Dislodge pockets of stuck energy. So my story around this, my lived experience around moving my body. The first time I went to a laughter yoga class, first time. Laughter yoga has a lot of movement. There's improvisation. It's a lot of really dynamic fun. And the very first time I went, I cried from about minute 5 to minute 65. I cried. And it was racking like sobs in between the laughter. So why am I telling you this? Because moving the body, laughter, can help you move the energy that isn't serving you so that you can hear what would serve you. Move the barnacles in your experience off of you so that you can connect to higher power. You can connect to your supreme self. Are you aware of the planes in you? Move the body. Get into nature, one of my favorites. Get into nature and experience her versions of not of this earth magnificence. Excuse me. Not of this earth magnificence. When you look at a spider web, when you look very closely at the leaves of a fern, and then you look around you and see that the whole forest floor is covered with ferns, interconnected, interrelated with all these other beings of plant, flora, and fauna. Wow. The magnificence of the universe. Can you hear it? Not with your ears. Can you see it? Not with your eyes. Speaking. Can you hear it saying, come hither? Can you touch? Hear the smiles? That your very presence is there acknowledging nature. Get into nature. Quiet your mind. Have an experience of her bounty and her magnificence. And my last favorite tip around how do I become more aware of the planes? How do I become more aware of the planes? Not an intellectual knowing, an awareness at the heart level of you, the soul level awareness. So prayer, and I teach and use affirmative, declarative prayer. I used to pray like this: please, 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 will you help me? Will you show me? Please, I don't know what to do. I'm so stuck. I don't know what. I don't do that anymore. I'm not saying it's wrong. What feels like serves me better is to declare truth. Believing is seeing. Declare the belief so that I may see the actual thing unfold in my life. So I use declarative prayer. There's a quote out there. I don't know to whom it should be attributed. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. Powerful. So speak it into being. I am connected to my higher source. My higher self is speaking to me in multiple ways every day, and I can hear, understand, and express as my higher self directs. I am a divine being. I am the magnificence of the ocean in this one drop, and I am here to be love and light for myself and others. I declare that I am now the solution to this problem. I have all the answers that I seek. The way showers are talking to me through my higher self, and I am hearing, receiving, and understanding. Declare it. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. Are you aware of the planes? I love this quote from Ken Poirot about the existential planes. Love, what you're all here for, people. You may think it's about the new car, the bigger house, the following, being an influencer, having people like you. You may think it's about that. That's okay. And there's more. Love transports mortal beings to the existential plane of spiritual eternity, transcending the emotional, mental, and physical limitations of an inaccurately perceived finite existence. Break that down. That's your own work from this Hump Day Happy Chat. Love transports mortal beings to the existential plane of spiritual eternity, transcending the emotional, mental, and physical limitations of an inaccurately perceived finite existence. Love, the highest vibration on the planet. Did you notice that? Love is the vehicle. Sending you lots of love, calling you into this awakening of the planes within you and around you, and to work on multiple planes, to dance in the multidimensionality that you are, and that is true of all things, in order to live your best life. Many blessings. That's it for today's Hump Day Happy Chat. I always close with the Karnaya Metta Sutra, which is the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy, multidimensionally. May all beings awaken, 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 wake up, wake up. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, your true nature, the magnificence that you are. You don't have to work for it. It's you. It's innate. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. That's free of the emotional baggage that makes you think that your existence is finite, that makes you think you have limitations, that makes you think you are not love. Many blessings. Thank you so much for being with me. And please share and come on into the Bliss Collective and come on into the next Grow in Self-Mastery, Flow into Bliss challenge. Many blessings. Bye now.